Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Honestly Not Serious. We have a lot of really great topics that I'm so excited to talk about today. From my review of Off Campus Season 1 to Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater breaking up to Tom Holland's statement of possibly being married. Oh my God. Okay, so grab some coffee cake. It's time to start your day with Jay. Just want to say last week I was on a vacation, so that's why there wasn't an episode. I will talk about that a little bit later, but I think we'll just jump right into the stories. But genuinely, they're so good that I do not know which one to start with. I think to close the loop on Off Campus, we should just start there, right? I only watched like one episode of Off Campus and I was kind of knocking it for a bit. But I finished all of it and I'm obsessed. I love it so much. Like, of course, I was literally messaging anyone I could that I knew watched it. And I was like, oh my God, like the show is so cute. I do think that it has a lot of like elements of being corny and stuff. But honestly, like, that's kind of fun. The only thing I will say is that, like, top of mind, it didn't feel very original and it felt very predictable. And I think that that was the author of the book's choice. Will say I did not read the books yet. I'm totally going to read the books now. I've seen them for a few years all over Barnes Noble and I just didn't jump on them. I don't know. Like, I feel a little silly diving into, like, they literally call it like hockey smut. But I feel like the show is so much more than that. And that's literally what books are. Like the characters are so much more layered and I would love to give this author, Elle Kennedy, I believe is her name, a chance because I want to know more about the characters and the choices and dude, I love book to movie adaptations. So it would just be so fun for me to see like what didn't make it. That's like one of my favorite things. I love reading a book and then watching the show or the movie and being like, oh, that's an interesting choice that like the director made or like that was changed for like the script. Okay, so here are the core characters from Off Campus: Hannah Wells, Garrett Graham, Allie Hayes, John Logan, Dean DeLaurentis, John Tucker, Sabrina James, Justin Cole. This was, I'm assuming, intentional, but a lot of the names resemble, how do I say, like characters from romantic comedies or shows that were really popular back in like the 2010s. The first book came out from what I did my research on in 2015, which was like, it was clearly targeted towards like a younger millennial, older Gen Z. Like in that age, I was perfectly in college and I would have ate this book up. I don't even know how it slipped through my fingers. I think it's really cool that books can become like popular later on. But some of the things that I noticed was like, they recreated this scene with the characters Allie and Dean. Also, I'm literally recapping my thoughts on the show. So if you've never watched it, I'm so sorry. Like, you should probably skip ahead a little bit. But they recreated this scene with Allie and Dean. I think maybe two scenes that were like so clearly Samantha and Jake Ryan from 16 Candles. It was like one where they were like, it was nighttime and they were on their knees and they were kissing. And I was like, in that instant, I was like, oh my God, that's 16 Candles. And then there was another scene where I think it was Garrett who was leaning up against a car and then another car went by to reveal him. And that was in 16 Candles too. I'm sure there's other ones that I'm missing, but those are the ones that like perfectly stood out to me. De Laurentiis reminds me of Pretty Little Liars. John Tucker was not a person. John Tucker Must Die. I just felt like a lot of these were an homage to thing like media in the early 2000s. I mean, even 80s, 90s, 2000s, which I liked and it was endearing and it was sweet. But it didn't feel that original, but that's okay. Like me and my husband were watching it and we were finding ourselves like, he's so good at this, but it was like, oh, that's gonna happen next, and I'm like, stop! It happens, and I'm like, oh my God. Like the scene where he perfectly predicted that the person that was calling Allie, it was Dean, but when it said like, do not answer, you think in your mind that it's her ex-boyfriend, but it's Dean. And that was like such a fun little reveal. And he's like, oh, it's going to be Dean. I'm like, how do you know that? And like, I guess sometimes choices that you make are a little bit more obvious in a show. Yeah, that's interesting. So when you have a book, I read a lot of books, see behind me, especially like my absolute favorite is book to movie adaptations. But when there are a lot of books, or sorry, when there's a book and they refer to something in the beginning and then it comes back to you in the end, for me, it's not as obvious because I don't have that visual cue. But when I'm watching a show or a movie and they show something like the like do not call and then it comes back to us in the end that it's Dean, that character, I guess that should be a little bit more obvious because that was a visual cue. I didn't catch it then, but my husband sure did. But that is one of the things that I love about reading the book because it's full of surprises. Because, I mean, everyone interprets a book completely differently. I mean, there's a lot of people that say when they read a book, they just like, sometimes they just accidentally skip over a few things or they just didn't retain that because they didn't think it was important. So I guess all in all, like, I'm just very excited to read the book. And I know people have said amazing things about it in the whole series. So yay. But other than that, like, truly, if you're going to watch it, it gets better after like the third episode. For some dumb reason, episodes 1 and 2 are like weirdly corny. I was like watching it being like, what am I watching? And then it gets better. And I really do think Mika Abdalla is like the belle of the ball, the star of the season. I love her acting. I love the choices that she made for her character, Allie. And it made it super exciting for people that read the book and didn't read the book to get excited about the second season. And I mean, Prime needs to give her like a little boost in salary for that because girls are cutting their hair like her this summer. It's the Allie Hayes summer haircut, and everyone's dialed in on her relationship. Before I talk a little bit more about the relationship, Mika Abdalla and Jake Short, I'm just going to go through and tell you like one word of what I think of all these characters. Hannah Wells, God, why did I start on her? She's like corny, but like adorable. Corny and adorable. Garrett Graham, good God, the alliteration, you guys. I like it though, I really do. But like Garrett Graham, sweet. Allie Hayes, confident. John Logan, adorable. Adorable. And I looked him up afterwards, and that man can sing. Dean De Laurentiis, charming. John Tucker, did I use sweet yet? He was sweet. He was like a fun and sweet character. The way that he was really caring for everyone on Thanksgiving, it was endearing. He's endearing. Sabrina James. Oh wait, isn't her name Jules? Okay, Google got it wrong. Her name is Jules Logan. Annoying. Justin Cole, like whatever. I don't know. To me, he was just like whatever. He was just there for like the plot of it all. But dude, Jules, that's like a character I really couldn't get behind. I was like, why is this whole school giving her so much power? Like, why are we paying attention to her? Like, it was like, if you did that in high school, I'd believe it. But like college, I was like, no. Okay, so playing off that, off-campus star Mika Abdalla and Jake Short break silence on resurfaced podcast clip after split. I talked about the podcast clip on my last episode. Basically, Jake called her some bitch when he was referring to her on his podcast, which is like totally lame. I don't really care in what context that was lame. So this is their joint statement. I'm going to read it to you. We seen a conversation around clips of us together when we were in a relationship and people making harmful and inaccurate assumptions about our dynamic. The former couple noted to Us Weekly that they were in a loving, respectful relationship for 5 years, and it's hurtful to see playful moments dissected in a way that does not reflect the respect and love we had and still have for each other. The exes put on a united front just days after Us Weekly broke the news of their split after 5 years together. In a statement to Us, a rep for Abdalla said, because of the immense curiosity about Mika's personal life, and in light of numerous erroneous reports, I can clarify that Mika and Jake are no longer in a relationship. So that is what her rep said. Then they got hate, and then they made a joint statement. Yeah, I'm not really surprised that like this happened. I guess in the age of like genuinely social media and like what I'm doing, I'm telling you what's up in pop culture. Like it makes sense. And he's an actor too, and he could get canceled and not get work. So I'm genuinely not surprised. But Mika's seeing a lot of success right now. And I will say, like, she didn't have to do that. His rep, whoever it may be, could have just done a statement on their own. But the fact that she signed off, put her name on it was pretty cool of her, I will say. I think a lot of people will have opinions on Jake Short and how he's like a nobody and ugly and stuff like this. But this was someone she cared for. So I hope people just kind of move on. Oh my gosh. Okay. So next, we're going to talk about Love Island. I literally don't even know where to start. Last time I talked about this was the day before the Love Island premiere. I talked about all the cast members. But good God, we're on episode 12 now, and I'm fully caught up. Like, I'm ready for tonight. Some quotes that I wrote down from last night. Okay. So, in last night's episode, Zach and Kata got to go to the hideaway, and the show pretty much focused all on Kenzie. And I've seen a lot of things online where people are now trying to take down Kenzie. It was first Melanie, and now it's Kenzie. And I'm just like, you guys, why are we not talking more about the boys? Okay. Sincere's like actually so annoying. Corbin's like redeemable after last night's episode, but like I cannot with these girls fighting over Sincere. Like he's literally not all that. So Zach and Kitty go to the hideaway. They do it. And afterwards he goes, "Are you going to kill me if I explore a bombshell?" Like, it's funny because the producers, the editing team, whatever, they fed us this Easter egg that Zach was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like maybe a couple episodes ago. And I was like, okay, we clocked it. Maybe if he says nothing else like that, then it'll just be whatever. But then he said this, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, this literally just happened. They're making the bed, and he's like, what about the bombshells? I'm like, dude, that's not right. But I don't know. Another thing we learned from last night is apparently Jen and Gabrielle did it. Okay. Okay. He was like with Bea, like what, 24 hours ago? And then that happened. I'm like, okay, he moves fast. Like, we're not paying enough attention on that. Like, everyone's just like, oh, okay. And then we moved on. I was like, okay. KC and Corbin calling Aniya a grandma. That was so lame. I love Aniya. I do. I really do. And when I think about her relationship with KC, he had a point that like, don't forget, like you didn't pick me first, and like I've been open minded. Okay, okay, but I will say, like, what kind of trumps that is like she's been really communicative and like wanting to talk about her feelings and stuff, and he's been very avoidant. And she is talking to the other girls on the island, being like, excuse me. She's talking to the other girls on the island. I don't know why he's dodging me. And it's literally just like, Aniya, if I could just put it like this, you are mature and he is not emotionally mature. It has nothing to do with your approach. It has nothing to do with something you said. It is quite literally him. Like she was like, you don't take anything seriously. And he's giggling. And I'm like, because he's like 20 something and he's like so not ready for this conversation. Like he clearly hates confrontation. He laughs when it's happening. He's not laughing at you. He's uncomfortable. And then he's literally being avoidant and running away on the island. Or actually at some point she started running away too because she was frustrated. Everyone's just like not wanting to have conversations. Caleb and Kenzie were talking. She was wearing these pink clear shades that were giving Hannah Montana, especially with hair. And I don't know if anyone else was thinking it, but I was absolutely loving and living for it. And I was like, should I buy a blonde wig and get those clear pink sunglasses too? Because that was a moment. And I loved it. Everyone was talking about Kata and Zach in the hideaway. Like they were talking, Kata went over to the girls and was talking about her time in the hideaway. Zach went to the boys and we're talking with his time in the hideaway. And I wrote down, like, I genuinely love like a sex positive cast. Like for me, I'm living and I'm loving for it. And I know there's people online that are like really popular and making videos being like, ew, like your mom sees that. Like no one wants to hear about that. Like whatever. I don't know. To me, it's just like whatever. Like it's Love Island, you guys. Like if No, I was gonna say, if this was The Bachelor, like, maybe I'd understand, because that has a different demographic, but, like, who cares? Who cares if she's wanna be like, "I just got cracked." Like, girl, good for you. It's ridiculous. I'm really sick of the discourse online being like, "I can't believe she was talking about that." Why? Why? Does it make you uncomfortable? Why? Would you never talk like that with your girlfriends? I would. I have. It's fun. Whatever. And like on a TV show, why would you talk like that? Like, because she wanted to. Whatever. Okay, Melanie said, oh, wait. A big point of conversation from last night's episode was Kenzie and her exploring. I will say I do agree with Kenzie that people should be exploring, but this is something that I frequently come back to in my mind. This is a very confusing show. And it's one of those shows that don't have rules, but they have intentions and these fake invisible rules that everyone talks about on the island or the villa. I don't know if we call it the villa. The villa, they are societal based. Like, I'm not kidding. And they kind of stretch from cast to cast. So, for example, everyone's mad at Kenzie because she's exploring two different, what do they call it? Connections. Kenzie is exploring two different connections. And she's like, aren't I supposed to do that? Okay, yeah, the name of the game of Love Island is to explore connections. But also, another underlying thing of Love Island is finding a connection and then making it to the end and being that top connection that America was like, oh my God, you guys had the strongest connection. It's just like people use to their advantage, like, oh, well, I'm not exploring connections anymore. Like, oh, we have a really strong connection. Because there's no rule that says by week 1, you can't close off your connection, or by week 2, you can't close off your connection. There are literally no rules, but everyone acts just out of what works for them. And you're just watching it play out. And like, maybe a big reason I want to talk about this is because I'm just seeing online, like, people hating on Kenzie because she's exploring two different connections. I also think there's another underlying thing of that, like, of how Kenzie operates and stuff. But it's like, why aren't other people exploring connections? Why? Like, why is no one getting upset at Aniya and KC for not exploring more? Like, genuinely, like, KC was curious about exploring more. And then it was like a big thing. Like, I can't believe he's doing that to Aniya. Like, when is the actual point where we can get upset that he's doing that to Aniya? Because frankly, they met like a week ago. I think that element of the show is confusing to me, and I can see other Islanders confused and Kenzie confused. Like, there's conversation about like the editing and the producers. Clearly, they sent Zach and Kata to the hideaway because they want to break them up. They want to show Zach's true colors and intentions, or vice versa. But it's like, okay, yeah, they have the strongest connection. I thought they were supposed to have the strongest connection. Or are they supposed to be exploring? Like, which is the one? Can we all, like, we're not all going to decide. Everyone's not going to decide which is the one that should be happening. Everyone's just doing off of vibes. And it's like very frustrating. If the name of the game is to make it to the end with like a strong connection, like, aren't we supposed to be championing Zach and Kata? Or do we want them to explore? But it's hypocritical because we don't want Kenzie to explore. And everyone loves Melanie, but Melanie's stuck on someone who doesn't want her. And Corbin's stuck on Melanie, and Melanie doesn't want Corbin. I just feel like so frustrated with how everyone's kind of acting online, to be honest. Melanie said, it's hard for me to sleep with Corbin. It's the marking of a new connection. So she's saying she doesn't want to turn over the new leaf yet because Sincere is still in her mind. Sincere is literally so annoying, you guys. So annoying. He's playing both girls, and genuinely, I just feel bad for Soul. I do. She seems like an emotionally intelligent person, and when they get the ability to see this all play back, I mean, it's going to give so much clarity to her. But the thing I don't like about Melanie is, like, she already has experience and knows Sincere and how he operates, but she's still choosing to try to be with him. Oh my god, they played an Addison Rae song. It was the one that, the I got a taste of the glamorous life. I love that song so much, and I was like, "Oh my god." I think they played Olivia Rodrigo too. Sometimes they get it right with music, and sometimes it's just dead wrong. Like, Saturday night's episode, there was, like, a song about, like, bumper cars, like, we're just hitting each other like bumper cars, and my husband and I were literally quoting that all Sunday. I'm crying. It feels like KC and Aniya are two ships passing in the night. It's clear they both offended each other and are having trouble placing their hurt and not really communicating it well. Yeah, that was a note I had because you can tell that Casey's offended, maybe because Aniya didn't pick him first, and Aniya's offended because he wants to explore a connection, but they're literally not like, I just feel like this is probably going to be the end for them because they can't get over this one thing because they can't have conversations on it. Like the conversations are just like not happening. They're not listening to each other. I wrote Gabriel seems to like Jen a lot. I'm happy for them, but he bounced back pretty quick and I'm watching him. Okay, another thing. Sincere was like, I never meant to close the door with you. He said that to Melanie, and he is such a player. Why are we not talking more about Sincere? And he just told Soul like a couple minutes a couple minutes in the episode before that he wanted to only explore her. Dude, I feel bad for Soul. Like that's not right. Okay, I think everyone feels universal about this, but everyone feels bad for Caleb. Caleb seems super sweet and he's got a whole life ahead of him for finding a woman. This is just probably not going to it's not going to be the place. He's so optimistic about him and Kenzie. He said this about Kenzie and Corbin. They still need to have chats even if that's separating chats. Like Caleb, she might go to you, but after she does Corbin. Who else is thinking that? I'm thinking that. Okay, I personally thought Kenzie ate when she called out Corbin for when he asked to kiss Melanie while he was with her, Kenzie, but wouldn't kiss her, Kenzie, while he was with Melanie, who doesn't even like him. I was like, when she pointed that out, I was like, yeah, that did happen. You guys, everyone hates Kenzie online right now. I just don't think it's fair. I think we need to push all that energy to Sincere because Sincere truly is moving in a way that's really selfish. And I really do feel like Kenzie's trying to figure out how she feels, which is what you're supposed to do. And she's not leading anyone on. Like, she's not lying to anyone like Sincere is. Okay, I take that back because now they just kissed and they're hiding that. Up until that point, she had me. Back to Corbin. Corbin later said in the episode about Kenzie, if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. And I literally just thought that was so sweet. And I was like, Kenzie doesn't deserve Corbin. Absolutely not in the place that she's at in her life. Okay. Okay. So that's pretty much it for what I have on this episode. I wrote down a hot take though. I wrote down a hot take while I was watching the episode and then I went online and just saw everything and it truly was a hot take. So this is not a show about morals. I just don't think it is. And it's kind of fun that Kenzie and Corbin are sneaking around. Am I going to get judged for that? For me, it makes really good TV. And I just like don't take Love Island seriously. And I saw this girl do like a 3-part video recap of last night's episode. And she was like so upset about how Kenzie was moving. And I was like, I just like don't think we should take it that seriously. Because like how many couples on Love Island actually like stay together? And it's such a unique scenario where you get to explore people around your age at the same time. Like that's never going to happen again, I guess, unless you're the Bachelorette. But this is a cooler situation because you get to be like with like other like a girl, like you get to be with other girlfriends or like other guy friends. Like it's so unique. I think that it just what people really need to remind themselves are the logistics that this is so unique and it's such a like once in a lifetime situation and you really are supposed to explore as many connections as possible. I think you still have to have good character, be honest, be true to yourself. But like everyone online being so upset about the talks about sex, over explaining that, like, the challenge is just getting more raunchy. Like, I genuinely cannot relate because I'm living and I'm loving it. Okay, so other things to wrap this up. People are split on Melanie. Some don't like her. Some think she deserves better, but I'm really confused. She's annoying. She got a second chance, saved by Corbin, and is still focused on Sincere. And I have to think, like, maybe that's because I can see what Sincere is doing. But, like, I swear, like, come on, in your gut, you gotta know that if he went back to that one, if he's just with Soul, like, it's kind of done. I felt like she didn't learn her lesson. But there's a lot of people rallying behind Melanie. So I don't know that I'm rallying behind her. I guess I just wish that her second chance was not like all focused on Sincere. She didn't even have to focus on Corbin. Like, she could kind of just like do her thing until maybe like cost them more. I just was like, Melanie, what are you doing? I saw a video of this girl going off on Kenzie and how she moves, and I kind of just talked about that. But I really like, lastly, like, why are we not focusing more on the boys? Why are we not questioning how, like, it's like, why do the boys get away with everything? Why are we not questioning Zach for how he's talking and making these like little comments to plant the seed to Kata? Like, why is Kata not asking more questions? Like, why are we giving Sincere a pass and like blaming Soul or Melanie? Like, this is all Sincere. This is all Sincere. Like, he created this mess. Are you kidding me? Why are we not questioning Gabrielle for moving on so quickly? Like, literally doing a girl the next day after he cried over Bea. I don't know, man. And then also, another thing is that people say that this is the worst season of Love Island ever. I'm actually so sad for it. I love it. I don't really know what everyone else is talking about. Maybe they're upset that there's like not a lot of influencers on it, but I think it's kind of funny that these are people like with everyday jobs and lives and stuff. Like, I think that makes them more grounded and maybe less driven to, like, less motivated to be famous out of this, like not just coupling up for the sake of coupling up. Like, everyone's actually doing what the show is supposed to be doing. So I watched the Lorne Michaels documentary. I'm not actually sure. I think it just came out recently, but it was really good. As someone who's loved SNL for honestly my entire life, that one was probably the best documentary. I watched that show that came out like, I think it was 2 years ago in October. What was it called? It was with, what was it called? Okay, hold on. Let's look it up. It was called Saturday Night. Yeah, it came out in 2024. And it starred Rachel Sennett, Kaya Gerber, Ella Hunt, Lamorne Morris, Cooper Hoffman. Oh, and Finn Wolfhard. He was in it too. I really loved that one. That was just like a movie based on the first episode of SNL. And then the Lorne documentary, just like as best as they could, because he's kind of a hard person to want. Like, he's hard to talk to because he doesn't like cameras. It was really nice. They had a lot of former cast members, and to me, like, that's my everything. Like, I saw Kenan Thompson, Jimmy Fallon, Andy Samberg, Bill Hader, all of them, like, so many. Oh gosh, they had Conan O'Brien, which was really cool. And I personally love hearing stories from past SNL members. It's like a candy shop for me to get a little piece of information. Like, I just genuinely enjoy it. So I highly recommend that documentary. I think it was on Peacock. That would make sense because of NBC. But they did a good job. And I guess something that I learned was that he was really good friends with, what was it, Simon? The guy from Simon and Garfunkel. Paul Simon. Yeah, Paul Simon's his best friend. And that was really sweet to kind of hear more about their friendship. I genuinely didn't know that. And I love learning new things about SNL. So I recommend that. That was really fun. I watched that, I think, last night. Page Six reports. Page Six reports inside needy Ariana Grande's on and off relationship and split from Ethan Slater. So I guess recently Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater split, but I genuinely think like it was like maybe within this year. Like, I don't think it was last week or anything like that. But they split. They were together for 3 years, which is pretty much the entire time of the press of Wicked and then the premieres of Wicked and such. But they're done. And they had like a tumultuous start because he was married and he had recently had a baby. So it kind of, I obviously don't know what happened, but it added to all of this, like the conversation around Ariana Grande and how she's like a homewrecker and stuff. So, when things start like that and you take this chance and you want it to be worth it, you think like, gosh, like that was kind of crazy, but I really hope they'll work out. And I genuinely really wanted them to work out. So it didn't, and that's sad. And apparently, at one of her recent concerts, she was like on stage crying, which, if you're an Arianator, that's really nothing new. There's been so many times that she's had tour that she has just broken down. And I think it's because her music, she writes and she puts so much vulnerability and her heart into it. So when she's singing these songs about people from her past, like I can't, I think I would cry. I would probably cry too. So that is sad. That's sad. New chapter for Ariana. Okay, my last story, my favorite story. I'm so excited. Esquire reports they were all there. Tom Holland addresses Zendaya marriage rumors for the first time. So if you guys remember, I think months back, there were these AI photos of Zendaya in her wedding, and they genuinely looked AI. But I guess some people thought they were real. So when phony AI wedding photos of Tom popping champagne with his new bride on Lake Como started to spread across social media, racking up over 10 million likes in the process, Holland explains that his grandmother saw them and thought that she hadn't been invited. When Esquire asked him if he was forced to send out similar messages to any other family members, he replied, no, because they were all there. They were at the wedding because the wedding happened. While Holland refused to be drawn on the day itself, he said, that's all you get on that. He did open up about his relationship with Z and the impact she's had on his peace of mind, which is great because he is on a lifelong sobriety journey. And I just think that like they're so cool together. I love it. So Tom and Zendaya are married. I'm going to make this about me. I got married, I think 6 months ago at this point. And just knowing that me and Zendaya and my girls, Demi and Selena and Miley, like all engaged, married at the same time, like, you know, it just makes me feel special. It makes me feel a part of something. Like, we did it. Ladies, we did it. My millennial Disney queens. No, I love that. I'm happy for them. I think they're really great together. And I think what's really fun about their relationship is that we all got to watch it unfold with all the Spider-Man press tours. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, they're like, that was special for us too. Wow, you guys, that's it. Those are my stories for today. Love Island's on tonight, another episode. I think it's like a fan voting one. I don't really know it to what extent. Island. I went on my app and it says a vote is coming soon. I did sign up today though, so I missed the last night vote. But it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited. I know the internet wants Kenzie off, but that would be a mistake because she's making it enjoyable. What are you doing? Like, if anything, let's get the boring people off. Like, I don't know a thing about Jen. I don't know a thing about Jen. Gabrielle recently has been kind of boring. Yeah, like Trinity and Bryce, they keep it interesting. They know what they're doing. Zach and Kata keep it interesting. Kenzie in general keeps it interesting, and Melanie keeps it interesting too. Sincere keeps it interesting, but like I just don't like him. And again, I said like the show is absolutely not about morals, so like he can stay, but he bugs me. And Naya, she can stay. She can stay because we're setting her to Casa more. She needs new boys. She deserves that. Is that what it's called, right? Did the girls go to Casa Amor or the boys? I can't remember. Also, After Sun, I really like it. I think some people don't like it, but I like it because it's really smart. I think that it's a good way to get the first reaction from all these cast members that Peacock has invested in, and they won't feel compelled to go to like another podcast. Like it's not going to be as interesting. A lot of these podcasts, like the Vile Files and Call Her Daddy, get like the first reaction from these people. But like the fact that they built this platform so that they can talk to the Islanders first, I think it's really smart. And I actually watched After Sun. I usually skip it, But it was so good, like seeing Bea and what was his name? I don't remember. But seeing their reactions and what they had to say, I liked it a lot. Last week, I was on vacation in Florida and I was doing like the theme parks and stuff. It was really fun. I had a really fun time. I did buy shoes for the occasion. Like, I'm usually like a Hoka's girl, but I bought Brooks and I don't like them. I didn't like them. My feet hurt a lot. And I guess you could make the argument that maybe I should have like broken them in more, but I thought I broke them in plenty and they weren't doing it for me. So it was really fun. I went to Universal Studios for the first time since I was 10 years old. And you know what? I wasn't like the biggest fan of that theme park. And I'll tell you why. The food. Like, I think when you're younger, you don't really pay attention to that, but like they genuinely only had like overpriced hot dogs and popcorn and Coke. That was pretty much it. And like chips. Like, it was like hot dogs and chips. Like, you couldn't even do like hot dogs and fries. So that might be one of those parks that I go to like once every 15 years. It's crazy. Maybe 10. I don't know. Epic Universe was fun. I got a Harry Potter wand and, I did my little flip stuff, the little spells. So that was really cool as like a Harry Potter fan. I thought they did a really good job with like the theming and everything. Every land, like every corner that you turned, it just reminded you of the movie and the book. And that was really special. Last year, I actually got to go to Scotland with my husband, and we went specifically to like the area that J.K. Rowling was inspired by to do like the theming for Harry Potter. That was really cool. Oh, so we went to Edinburgh, but it was really cool and it was like kind of dark and rainy when we went. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in Harry Potter. But I also felt like I was in Harry Potter when I was at Universal. I went to the Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom rocks. Okay. Love it. There's like no wait time for the rides. So that was really fun. I had Casey's corn dog nuggets. If you know, you know. I had vanilla ice cream. I got to have beignets, like, Tiana's beignets. So that was really special. It was just a great trip. I loved like swimming and just having like the Florida sun. Like, it was so great. So that's why I didn't have an episode last week. I was in Florida, but now I'm not. I'm back. But I'm so excited. I love I love podcasting. This is my second episode and I genuinely could talk for hours. I think I could. When I was at Magic Kingdom, I got these ears and they were like Mickey Mouse ears with the sorcerer hat. So they were like Sorcerer Mickey. And those ears mean so much to me now. Like, that's my favorite pair of ears ever. I love them. I love Sorcerer Mickey. I grew up on Fantasia. Like, he's so cute to me. Like, when he has that little hat and he does his little magic, it's everything. I got a Sorcerer Mickey sweatshirt and I got new Mexico ears. Every time I go to the Epcot Mexico Pavilion, I love to get like the new Mexico ears. So I have some from a few years ago. And then I have new ones now, and they're beautiful, and I'm excited to wear them. But all in all, it was a really great trip. It was really fun, and I already want to go back. I don't know when I'm going to go back. I seem to go back every like 2 years. But yeah, this was so great. Like, it's really hard leaving a place like Disney, like Florida. It just does. Like, when you step into the Disney bubble, it feels magical. And then it's like you step out of it and you're like, oh God, I still have life. I still have responsibilities and everything. I really want to go back. I don't know when. It's realistically, it's not gonna be this year. And I don't even know. Like, if anything, next summer, but probably not. Whatever. It's okay. Well, that's all I have for today. Feel free to comment, rate, subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe to my podcasts. Those are new. Share them with a friend or anything. And also video format on YouTube. I totally forgot to say that in my first episode, but if you are listening on Spotify or Apple, you can absolutely watch me on YouTube. So please do. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.